Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. You know, this company DeepSeek has been kind of blowing up my newsfeed lately. Like, every day there's a new article about how they're revolutionizing AI. So today we're doing a deep dive on DeepSeek, trying to figure out what all the fuss is about. We're talking a company that's training AI models as powerful as OpenAI's, but for a fraction of the cost. And they're open sourcing everything. So yeah, we've got a lot to unpack. First off, where did DeepSeek even come from? Turns out it's this hedge fund, Highflyer. Hedge fund. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah, it's a pretty unusual origin story. So Highflyer was co-founded by Liang Wenfeng back in 2016. Initially, they were all about using AI for like high-frequency trading and stuff. Then in 2023, they created DeepSeek as a separate entity, spun it off from their AI lab. It's almost like they predicted the whole AI boom, like they knew this was going to be huge.
Yeah. Hold on. They really spun off a whole AI company from a hedge fund. Talk about a pivot. But it sounds like they were seriously ahead of the game. I mean, DeepSeek's known for these insanely low costs, right? People are calling them the Pinduoduo of AI, which, for our listeners who might not be familiar with Chinese e-commerce, that's like the king of affordable everything.
Yeah, their pricing strategy is really shaking things up. When they released their DeepSeek V2 model, it basically triggered a price war in China's AI market. Suddenly, companies like ByteDance, Tencent, Baidu, Alibaba, all these giants had to slash their prices to compete.
Wow, they're like the AI disruptors. But how are they able to offer these rock-bottom prices? What's their secret sauce?
Well, one thing is they're laser focused on research and development. They're not as concerned with immediate commercialization like some of the other big tech companies. That gives them the freedom to innovate quickly and kind of stay under the radar. Plus, it helps them avoid some of China's stricter AI regulations, which mostly target consumer-facing stuff.
Ah, so they're flying under the radar, building awesome tech, and then dropping these bombshells on the market. Smart move. And it's not just their pricing, right? Their hiring strategy is kind of out there, too.
Oh yeah, they're not just looking for the usual AI veterans. DeepSeek really values fresh perspectives and diverse skill sets, so they've got a pretty young workforce. They've even hired people from outside computer science, like poets. And get this, they've hired people who aced the Gaokao.
Wait, the Gaokao? That's like the most intense college entrance exam in China. They're basically assembling a team of super geniuses over there. Okay, so we've got a hedge fund turned AI disruptor with a team of brilliant minds and a knack for breaking the market. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes here, their models. They've released a ton of models in a pretty short amount of time. Can you walk us through the highlights? What are the must-knows for our listeners?
Absolutely. So their first big release was back in November 2023 with DeepSeek Coder. It's a model specifically for coding tasks, and they made it open source. That means anyone can use it, build on it, even use it commercially for free.
Whoa, open source. That's pretty radical for a company making such big waves.
Yeah, they're not afraid to share their tech with the world. It's like they want to democratize AI, make it accessible to everyone. Then, later that same month, they released the DeepSeek LLM series, which are large language models designed to go head-to-head with the big players.
Okay, so they're already challenging the establishment right out of the gate.
Exactly. And then things started to get even more interesting. In January 2024, they came out with DeepSeek MOE. It uses this thing called a mixture of experts architecture. Basically, they're combining different AI experts into one super efficient model.
So it's like they're building a brain trust of AI. That's pretty cool.
Right. And then things really blew up with DeepSeek V2 in May 2024. This model was a game changer. It was way cheaper than any of its competitors, and it used some really innovative techniques that led to a massive jump in performance.
Okay, so they're not just producing comparable results, they're doing it more efficiently and for less money. That's got to be putting some serious pressure on the competition.
Oh, absolutely. And then, as if that wasn't enough, they unveiled DeepSeek V3 in December 2024. This one blew everyone away. It outperformed rivals like Llama 3.1 and Qwen 2.5. And get this, it matched the performance of OpenAI's GPT-4o and Claude 3.5 Sonnet, but using way fewer resources.
So they're achieving these incredible results while being super efficient. That's a huge win for them. And then, of course, we can't forget about DeepSeek R1, their latest and greatest.
Oh yeah, DeepSeek R1. This one's all about logic, mathematical reasoning, and real-time problem solving. It's being compared to OpenAI's most advanced models, and they even launched a chatbot app based on R1, which is causing quite a stir.
Yeah, that chatbot's been all over the news. It seems like every time DeepSeek releases something, it sends shockwaves through the tech industry.
Definitely. Their success has had a huge impact on the market.
Like with NVIDIA, right? Their stock took a major hit.
Oh yeah. When DeepSeek R1 came out, NVIDIA's share price dropped almost 18%. And it wasn't just them. Microsoft, Alphabet, even ASML, the Dutch chipmaker, they all saw significant drops. Almost $1 trillion was wiped off American stocks because of DeepSeek shaking things up in the AI world.
$1 trillion. That's insane. They're like the David taking on the Goliaths of tech. And they're winning. And it's not just the markets, right? DeepSeek's been getting a lot of attention from some big names in the AI industry.
Oh, absolutely. Sam Altman from OpenAI and Satya Nadella from Microsoft, they've both said that DeepSeek is super impressive. Even former President Trump called it a wake-up call for the American AI industry. Of course, not everyone is thrilled. Some people, like Elon Musk, are skeptical. They question whether DeepSeek's approach is sustainable in the long run.
Sounds like DeepSeek's making a lot of people nervous, which I guess is to be expected when you're disrupting an entire industry.
Yeah.
But there's also been some controversy surrounding DeepSeek, right? Especially concerning censorship and data privacy, given that they're based in China.
Yeah, those are definitely valid concerns. There have been reports that DeepSeek's models censor certain topics, especially anything politically sensitive that the Chinese government wouldn't like.
That's definitely a red flag. And what about data privacy? What's the deal with that?
Well, their privacy policy states that all data is stored on servers in China. And they're pretty open about collecting user inputs, prompts, even chat history. This has raised some eyebrows, particularly in the West, because of concerns about the Chinese government potentially accessing that data.
So on the one hand, you've got this company pushing the boundaries of AI, making it more accessible, and forcing everyone to step up their game. But on the other hand, there are these serious concerns about control and transparency, especially with a company operating within China's political system. It's a complicated situation for sure, and it raises a lot of questions about the future of AI and who gets to control it. Questions we'll definitely be exploring further in this deep dive. Stay tuned. It's fascinating how DeepSeek is kind of rewriting the rules of the AI game, especially with their open source approach. On one hand, it's amazing, right? It makes these powerful tools accessible to researchers, developers, even just regular people who want to experiment. That kind of open collaboration could lead to breakthroughs we haven't even thought of.
Oh, absolutely. It's like opening the floodgates of AI innovation. Imagine harnessing the collective brainpower of the entire world.
Exactly. But then there's that other side of the coin. The potential downsides of this open approach, especially given what we talked about with censorship and data security.
Right, it's not all sunshine and roses.
I mean, making their tech open source means anyone can use it, modify it, even potentially exploit it. We've already seen reports of AI being used for, like, creating fake news, deep fakes, even developing autonomous weapons. Could DeepSeek's open source approach accidentally make those problems worse?
Yeah, that's a legitimate concern. Releasing powerful technology without safeguards could definitely have unintended consequences. It raises those big questions about who controls AI and how we can make sure it's used responsibly. It's a double-edged sword, that's for sure.
DeepSeek's story really throws a spotlight on all the complex challenges we're facing with AI developing so rapidly. It's like we're at a fork in the road, and the decisions we make now will have huge consequences down the line. It's both exciting and kind of scary, you know?
Definitely agree with you there. And DeepSeek is at the center of it all, pushing the limits of what's possible and forcing us to confront both the amazing potential and the risks of AI.
So we've talked about the big picture, the impact on the tech industry, the ethical concerns, the global implications. But what about the everyday effects? How will all this affect businesses, researchers, even just regular people like you and me? Could this change how we work, learn, interact with the world?
Now that's where it gets really interesting. DeepSeek could potentially touch every aspect of our lives. For businesses, think about small companies suddenly having access to powerful, affordable AI tools. They could use it for marketing, customer service, product development, research, anything.
So it's like leveling the playing field, giving the little guys a chance to compete with the big corporations.
Exactly. It could lead to a huge surge in innovation and entrepreneurship.
That's awesome.
And for researchers, DeepSeek's open source models are like a treasure trove. They can delve into the code, tweak it, explore new applications we haven't even dreamt of. It could massively speed up AI research in all kinds of fields.
I've already seen headlines about DeepSeek's models being used for medical diagnoses, personalized education, even writing music. It's mind-blowing, the possibilities.
Yeah.
But are there downsides we should be aware of? I mean, aside from the ethical stuff, what about jobs? As AI gets smarter, are we going to see people losing their jobs because machines can do them better?
It's a valid concern for sure. As AI systems become more capable, some jobs will probably be automated. We're already seeing that in manufacturing and transportation, for instance. And DeepSeek's technology could accelerate that trend, affecting a lot more professions.
So how do we prepare for a future where AI plays such a big role in the workforce? What skills do people need to learn to thrive in that world?
That's the million-dollar question. We need to focus on skills that complement AI, not compete with it. Things like creativity, critical thinking, complex problem solving, communication, emotional intelligence. Those are uniquely human skills that will become even more important as AI takes over routine tasks.
So it's not just about learning to code or build AI, it's about nurturing the things that make us human.
Exactly. And this is where education is absolutely crucial. We need to prepare future generations for a world powered by AI. Teach them how to understand its capabilities and limitations, and most importantly, how to use it ethically and responsibly.
That feels like a call to action, not just for educators, but for policymakers, business leaders, everyone. We can't just sit back and watch AI reshape the world. We need to be actively involved in guiding its development and making sure it benefits everyone.
Absolutely. We need to steer AI in the right direction.
Okay, so we've covered the big picture. But what about the average person, the non-tech expert? How will DeepSeek and the rise of AI affect their daily lives?
The impact will be everywhere, even if it's not always obvious. AI is already baked into so much of the technology we use every day. Social media algorithms, personalized recommendations, voice assistants, navigation apps, it's all powered by AI. And DeepSeek's open source models could make AI even more ingrained in our lives.
So even if we're not building AI ourselves, we'll be interacting with it constantly.
Exactly. Imagine AI helping us manage our schedules, personalize our learning, streamline our daily chores, even spark our creativity. The potential is truly limitless.
That's both exciting and a little unnerving. It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie. But we've talked about misinformation and bias in AI. How do we protect ourselves from those dangers?
That's where digital literacy is key. We need to become more critical of the information we consume, especially online. We need to be aware of potential biases, manipulation tactics, and demand transparency from the companies that collect our data. We need to be informed users, not just passive consumers.
So it's about taking ownership of our digital lives, being mindful of how AI is shaping our online experiences, and making informed choices.
Exactly. But it's also about collective action. We need to push for policies that protect our privacy, promote ethical AI, and ensure that the benefits of AI are distributed fairly, not just concentrated in the hands of a few.
So it's a combination of personal awareness and pushing for systemic change.
Precisely. DeepSeek's story shows us that technology is never neutral. It reflects the values of the people who create and use it. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being shaped by the decisions we make right now.
It feels like we're stepping into uncharted territory here with AI evolving so fast, and DeepSeek is right at the forefront. Honestly, I'm a little overwhelmed just trying to wrap my head around it all.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. AI is changing at a dizzying pace, but I think the most important thing is education. The more we understand how AI works, its potential, its limitations, the better decisions we can make about its development and its impact on our lives.
So even in the age of artificial intelligence, knowledge is still power.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the technical stuff either. We need to grasp the ethical and social implications of AI too. This should be a conversation we're having everywhere, not just in tech circles, but in classrooms, boardrooms, even around the dinner table.
I like that, bringing the AI conversation into everyday life. But let's face it, not everyone is going to become an AI expert. For the average person like you and me, what can we do to make sure AI is used for good and not, for something harmful?
That's where digital literacy comes in. We need to be savvy consumers of information, especially when it comes to content generated or filtered by AI. We've got to watch out for those biases, potential manipulation tactics, and hold companies accountable for how they use our data. It's all about being informed and empowered users, not just passively scrolling through whatever algorithms throw at us.
So taking control of our digital lives, being mindful of AI's influence online, making conscious choices about how we interact with it.
Yes, exactly. But it's also about demanding change at a larger scale. We need policies and regulations that protect our privacy, ensure AI is developed ethically, and that the benefits are shared widely.
So individual awareness combined with collective action, being informed users and active citizens in this new AI world.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And DeepSeek's story really highlights this. It's a powerful reminder that technology isn't some neutral force. It reflects the values and priorities of the people behind it. The future of AI isn't predetermined. It's shaped by the choices we make, both individually and as a society.
That's a powerful message. It's a call to action for all of us to step up and demand responsible development and use of AI. This deep dive has been eye-opening. I feel like I've learned so much about AI in such a short time.
Oh, there's always more to learn, especially in a field that's constantly evolving like this. But the key takeaway is that the future of AI is in our hands.
You've given us a lot to consider. DeepSeek has shown us that the future of AI is being written right now, and it's up to all of us to ensure it's a future worth building. Thanks for joining us in this deep dive.